Welcome to the inaugural edition of Wittmeyer Briefs. Hi everyone, I'm Jim Mitchell. I'll be your host as we begin this monthly series to get to know the folks at R.F. Wittmeyer Law and get to learn as much as we can about their practice in personal injury law. We'll be trying to inform and educate throughout the series, but today we'll just do a little quick introduction to the firm and some of the people there and kind of build our case going forward as to the value and importance of this podcast. So joining me today, first of all, is the founder of the firm, Ronald Wittmeyer. Ron, how are you today?
Good, Jim. Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Good to be
and
here.
One of the partners from the firm, Greg Lacoste. Greg, it's very nice to meet you today.
Thanks, Jim. Nice to meet you.
Now, as we go through the series, we're going to touch a lot of subjects. We're going to talk probably a lot about law. We're going to maybe talk about medicine, maybe finance, but today history is our lesson. And Ron, I'm going to let you start. Give us a little background on this firm and how it came to be.
All right. Thanks, Jim. We started the firm more than 40 years ago in 1984. I was an insurance adjuster after college, so I got introduced to this whole area of law, personal injury. Then I went to law school at night while I was working as an insurance adjuster. Got out, worked for a defense firm for a couple of years, and then in 1984 started the firm. It's evolved since then quite a bit. We did a variety of things to begin with, but in about 1990 focused exclusively on personal injury cases.
And I'm just curious because I'm sure we'll have some law students or young attorneys who watch over time. What's that like when you decide to take that leap of faith and go out on your own? Is it exciting? Is it terrifying? Do you remember what it was like 40 years ago when you did that?
It's terrifying only when I think back about it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't know anything. My wife quit her job, was having our first baby, and I didn't get a paycheck, I think, for 9 months. So it's a leap of faith.
Yeah, well, 40 years later, it seems like it paid off and worked well for you. So anxious to learn more about the firm as we go forward. And Greg, I want to ask you, Ron kind of gave us that overview. We were just talking before we started about a case you've got in Wisconsin. You've got different locations for this firm that people can meet you at, right?
Yeah, we do. So we have an office in Arlington Heights, of course, a local office here, and then we have an office in Kenosha as well, where we have fully staffed, and we also have offices in Aurora and Elgin.
Okay. People have opportunities to get together and meet you different places, and obviously you serve a wide area then. Your logo says personal injury firm. Kind of a broad term. What does that mean? What sort of services do you actually offer, Ron?
So in the personal injury space, legal space, there are two sides. Plaintiff, representing the people who have been injured, and the defense, who represent the insurance company.
Okay.
We are on the plaintiff side. We only represent people who have been injured. So we're always fighting. We're always the underdog. We're fighting for the little guy, and we're fighting against multi-billion-dollar insurance companies on the other side of every one of our cases.
And when you say injury, what does that mean? What types of cases might come through your firm?
Greg, you want to talk
Sure.
about that?
So the one that's probably the biggest one is auto accidents, right?
Okay.
Or trucking accidents, right? So vehicle accidents. But then we also do commercial type injuries and such like that, and premises liability. So slip and falls, somebody get bit by a dog, anywhere where somebody's really injured, and those are the people we help.
All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about that process too as we go on. But
Can I just add
please.
one thing? Greg mentioned premises liability, slip, trip, and fall cases. A lot of personal injury lawyers don't want to take slip, trip, and fall cases because they're difficult cases, liability-wise. We have, I would say, I don't want to say a subspecialty, or particularly Greg does. We've handled a lot of those cases. We have some good experts that we work with. Greg's taken a number of those cases to the appellate court and won on those cases. So we like those cases, and we can help those people. We've had, over the years, other personal injury lawyers refer us their slip, trip, and fall cases.
Are there a lot of workplace cases as well, construction and other types of cases like that come your way?
There are very common.
All right, so You mentioned a few things already that have me interested in terms of how the firm operates and the types of cases you take and your background. And I think as we talk today and coming months, we'll hear a lot about your mission and the core values of how you operate. But you already said there's certain cases you take. What is it about your firm that makes you unique? How are you different from what are, quite frankly, a lot of other personal injury law firms out there?
Sure. Yeah, it's a very competitive area of the law, that's for sure. I would say a couple of things in my mind. One, we genuinely care about people.
Yeah.
And care about taking care of people and helping people. And you get a lot of satisfaction in doing that. And so that means we care about our team members and taking great care of our clients. So one of our core values is to always strive to take exceptional care of our employees, our team members, and take exceptional care of our clients. Okay. Secondly, I would say another thing that makes us unique is we are driven to continuously improve, and we have a culture of continuous improvement. And it's the only way you stay in business.
Yeah. And I'm sure it starts at the top, but Greg, as someone who's been with the firm for a while and been in the mix there, what would you say to that?
Yeah. So some of the things are very similar. One of the things, 7 years ago, I came. We met with Ron, and it's funny. We had this conversation, and the conversation was how do we view law, how do we view life, et cetera. And the one thing that was the same was our compassion for our clients,
okay.
right? And so. And Ron's compassion actually for his employees, like because I remember saying, I want this place to be the best place anybody's ever worked,
okay.
right? And that drew me like that's the place I want to go, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I ended up here, and then the other thing we bring to the table is our expertise, right? So back in the day before I came on here, I did all types of law, right? So I could do a whole bunch of things. And it has made my practice better and the firm's practice better when I just focus on personal injury. So we are experts in the personal injury area.
And that's important, I'm sure, to clients who need that type of assistance. I want to let people know, and we'll do this each and every episode, but they can always reach out to the firm to get some information. And to do that, best way is phone call 847-357-0403. We'll share that number again before we're done. InjuryLawAttorneys.com is the website. They can learn all. It's a great website, by the way. Great information on all of you, the things you do, the things that people need to do to prepare. So 847-357-0403. You talked about what makes you unique and the types of things you do, the values you have. But I heard you both mention, taking care of the staff, having maybe that family atmosphere. Tell me about staff. I mean, how big of is the firm? How many employees are there? What do they do? How do you work together?
So we're growing.
Okay.
We've been on a growth trend for the past, I would say about 12, 13 years. We currently have 7 lawyers, and I think a total of about 38 people now. And so on each one of our cases, they're assigned a team.
Okay.
A lawyer, a case manager, a legal assistant, and a medical records professional. So those 4 people in those 4 roles will handle that case from start to finish. They work together, or their efforts on the case are coordinated through a case management system. We use a cloud-based case management system called FileVine. Okay. It's a case management system as well as a project management system. So it has defined roles, and each of those roles have tasks that occur at various stages of the case. So that's how we keep everything. Everybody has access, even we have remote workers. They have access. It's a cloud-based system. They have access to everything. And so that's how we work together on a case. It's not, we don't go into a file drawer and pull out a paper file, which we all,
there was a time, right?
There was a time.
Yeah. Greg, so tell me, from your perspective as the attorney on a case, how does it help you to have that team of professionals around you?
Right, and you picked the right term, team, right? So I have a whole bunch of background in coaching, so the team concept was essential for me the way I approach things. And sometimes a heavy caseload, right? If I didn't have all my support staff, I couldn't get the stuff done that I do, right? I always get these comments from staff, it's like, how do you do all this? It's like, because of you, right? So that teamwork is one of the core values we have with our firm is the ability to work well with the others. And knowing that, hey, I'm going to have to rely upon you, you're going to have to rely upon me, and it works really well.
How about among the attorneys themselves? Do you bounce ideas off each other, cases you might have had in the past or experiences?
Yeah, so let me take that one, because Ron does a whole bunch of other things with the whole firm, right? He keeps this whole thing moving. But I'm lucky enough that I have the responsibilities of all the other attorneys, right? And so they're all working, I won't say under me, but with me.
Sure.
And so it's a good rapport. So when they come into my office, they come down, they sit down, and they'll ask their questions, right? And then we'll talk, we'll go through the process. I try to make it a Socratic method, right?
Okay.
So as they keep talking, and it's great. So it's wonderful. They're willing to learn. Ron can talk about the growth mindset that we have with the firm, but everybody's willing to listen. So,
Well, and just to follow up on that, so the way Greg and I have, and Greg and I are the only partners in the firm, have things divided is I'm the managing partner and I oversee the firm. I'm involved in marketing, HR, the finance, but I don't handle cases now directly. Greg is a senior trial lawyer in the firm. Every important decision on a case needs to go through Greg.
Got it.
Now, Greg and I bounce things about cases off each other, and I do with the other lawyers, but it's best if they go through Greg first. And so we have some younger lawyers in the firm. We have some seasoned lawyers, we have some middle lawyers, and we have some younger lawyers. And when I say younger, I'm talking about, they probably have 10 years experience, something.
Right. Oh, all right.
But that's a lot different than having 30 or 40 years experience. And so they're constantly, we have an environment now where we can train young lawyers.
And that's important to the growth, right?
It is.
Right.
Because the way we look at things is when we hire somebody, we're looking at what they can be in a few years, not what their exact skill set is at this very moment.
But without putting words in your mouth, for a client, they may work with those younger attorneys, but they have all the experience of the other attorneys behind them to make sure that things are being done the way they should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have certain protocols of the way we need things to be done.
Yeah. All right, about 2 minutes left, and this is one thing I want to ask. Because in your area of law, anyone who turns on the radio or TV or opens a newspaper these days, you see constant ads for personal injury firms, big names who everyone sees all the time. But the fact is, I don't think most people know this, many of those firms are nowhere near this area. You're here, you're local. Tell me about what people don't understand about those firms and how those big names really operate.
Well, I could talk a lot about that for a long time.
That's why I warned you 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, thanks. That's good timing. But let me just say this. All of Greg and I grew up locally. We live here in the northwest suburbs. We've raised our families here. We handle our own cases. We're in the courts. We try the cases. We appeal the cases if necessary. We're familiar with the judges we see all the time, familiar with the local counsel who handle the cases on the other side. And we're also very involved in the communities where we have our offices. So we have a pulse on the culture of the community. All of that's helpful.
Very important.
Yeah, and from our side, one of my assistants says, that we put the personal back in personal injury, right? So we are there for our clients, right? And unlike big firms, which they might be passed from associate to associate, we take accountability for our clients, and so that's what we do.
Excellent. Ron, Greg, thank you guys for being here today. It's a great introduction to the firm. Looking forward to more conversations and looking forward to having people join us as we go forward and get deeper into the law. We'll throw up here for you a phone number and a website, as well as social handles. Very active in social media, so you can follow along. Once again, 847-357-0403, injurylawattorneys.com. Looking forward to more episodes of Wittmeyer Briefs. Hope you'll join us for those. Thanks for being here today.